Hello, what is up? And today I am showing you a very cool thing I created with simply structure commands and just command blocks and chain commands. This is not mod at all. I'll simply just show you how on earth it works and then explain it and tell you why it's a neat trick. So, for starters, you would want pretty much the blocks that you would want replaced. You place a block on top of it that you want it to be. Then you place this simple command block with data in it, and it simply does this. Now, if you didn't see it the first time, I'll show you it again. And let's have it one more time on a block that you haven't seen. Now, you're probably wondering, what on earth is this exactly doing? Well, I am glad you asked. I'm gonna go here. So the block that I'm holding is simply this block right here, except it's always active. Ooh. Okay, that was supposed to be a chain command block, because then it wouldn't have activated like that, like this, and it doesn't activate. But it doesn't matter, it didn't blow up my world. That's actually a very good thing. I almost just blew up my stream. So what it does is it sets down, let's say you placed it, let me get this up. So you simply place it down like right here. Then it loads this command right here, these four things, and it is called setup. And what it does is this is an impulse command it has saved, as I have it as a chain so it doesn't blow up right now. Same with this one, this is supposed to be impulse. But what it does is it simply, first, this is simply so it doesn't destroy itself. This is a autosave thing, so if you have two blocks that are exactly the same, and it's to prevent it from like trying to replace this same block, so if you place it, it'll just delete itself. Otherwise it'll get a huge mess. So that's simply a failsafe command right here as the first one. And this is facing downwards and this one's facing upwards for a reason, because if you load two chain commands that are facing the same direction through structure commands, it sometimes doesn't work right. Actually, just the commands in general. So that simply fills it with air, stopping all the commands if you try and replace the same block with itself. Next one is it saves a structure that's simply 1 by 1 by 1 of the block that it is replacing, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, this block right here. And then this one saves the block that you want to replace as, which is 1, 2, in case you see it. And then there is this one, which is load fill. This is the fill structure. I have them saved as these structure blocks because they're much easier to work with. It's much better. So that goes in a certain order. This loads remove right underneath itself, which is right here. Which you're probably wondering, why on earth do I have this if it's simply saving the same structure? Well, this is actually another failsafe thing. Due to how this thing lags a lot, it can sometimes end up destroying itself by accidentally having, like, let's say it has like two chain things right here, and it goes to repeat itself. Give me a second. Let's say this is that chain command right there. So it goes to replace the block here. Actually, it needs to. It should be here. So it goes to replace the block here as it's midway through these ones, and it's going down these commands, and it goes to go here, and it goes to, before it goes to set block with, okay, I am kind of getting ahead. Okay, let me actually finish the rest of it, then tell you why this block is here. Okay, now this thing detects if the blocks below it, which is this one, matches on all 4 sides, which actually these are all these 4 command blocks. That's all that they do, which is this one, this one, this one, and this one, which end up cloning it on blocks that are adjacent to it. And now we have this one, which is load replace, and this one simply places a block that you want to replace right down there. Now this one simply just clears the whole chain of commands because it's done, you don't want it to stay. I'm going at 5 minutes. Not bad actually. So now with that being all said, I probably could explain it better and show a full-on recap of how I built this, but I thought, nah, keep the video short. Now back to what I was going to do. Why do I have this simply replace the block by itself? So I came across this weird bug where if let's say these two are both this thing right here. They're not the same size, but we'll call it good, and they're not chain commands. So it'll go through this one and this one and this one. Okay, let's first say this isn't here. So let's say bamboo is a block that it wants to replace. And wait, no. Give me a second. It's loading replace here. It's loading. There is a reason why I have that there, but I actually didn't. I don't have a script on what I say, so yeah. That's what makes making videos like these fun. So it can go through, and before it goes to set the replace block, sometimes this thing will copy it. So that can't be it. No. Oh wait, now I remember. So it has another command block right here that's going through this motion. And it detects. I don't know what to say. So when one copies itself, when there's a bunch of lag, because this thing greatly lags your computer. When one copies itself over, and sometimes it has a chance of it ends up copying itself, because why would it even? Okay, so I need to say that sometimes this thing breaks due to lag. It will copy itself over. And obviously it's repeating it, copying itself because it's already on the block that it wants to replace, and it will simply just keep repeating itself. That's why I have this here, so it ends up setting block as the main block that it wants to keep. So it doesn't end up getting stuck as this, repeating itself over, goes to remove itself, yet the blocks around it are the blocks that it wants replaced, because it matches underneath one. So somehow that breaks. So there's a reason this is here, except I don't understand how this actually breaks. Now let's go back to why on earth you would want to even use to begin with, because you could just use dash fill commands. 1, this is more easier to set up. 2, it's a little bit faster if you're going to use a lot of it. And 3, let's say you want to use 1 dash fill command to replace this dirt with wood. If I keep grass with wood. Well, you'd go from here to here, except that would make this wood. While for this though, it wouldn't fill this part. It would be limited to this area right here. Another thing is, I would not recommend going like that and placing this on it. Otherwise it will break. This is simply using a control pick block action that causes you to keep the data of this command block. Game rule. Give me a sec, what was it again? Command block output files. This is simply it. You don't actually need it named, I just have it so I don't mess up with other command blocks in my inventory. But this is all it loads, which is just this. So it ends up loading this thing, which then saves this. Well, first it tests these two blocks that they're not the same. If they are, it fills the whole entire thing, stopping all the functions with error. Then this one saves the removed one, which is what this wants right here. And then this one saves the replace one. Then this one loads this one, which then detects if all four corners are the same as the block underneath it. But first this one sets the structure load. And then these four just simply do that test on each of these blocks. You guys see the execute commands are really, really nice. Especially with the if blocks. And you don't need to do a chain command where you just do a test block. I had this thing like twice as long before. And then this simply just loads replace underneath it, because without it then why not even have this to begin with. And this one sets it with error. Now I'd simply call this it, but I think I should be like showing more examples on this thing working. Except I'm kind of in a stalemate at a very short 11-minute video right now. So yeah, I even set up that whole and set up this whole structure to kind of like showcase you in a lot more detail on how satisfying this is, but I'm kind of not really at that much options. This thing does get laggy very much, and I have this at like layered and split apart so it wouldn't create so much lag. Because if you place it like on the grass and you try to replacing all the blocks of grass, it'd get very, very laggy. In fact, I should probably showcase why it gets laggy to people who don't understand why. I also want to say that this is a very, very advanced command, I think, under my own opinion. Now, I made this up by myself, but someone probably could have made it before me, but I have never seen videos like this. Then again, I didn't even go looking for them. What would I even call this exactly? I don't know, heck, you could call it whatever you want. But yeah, I hope you find use for this, I'm guessing. Crap, give me a second. But yeah, if you don't know, this is the block that you control, pick block, which is sadly on computer. If you don't have, if you're on Xbox, or you can't do the control pick block on it, when you go to make this, you want to do chain, and then you type this out on always active on a chain, then you exit out of it, then you click impulse, then you save it. This prevents it from loading as it usually would because it's always active. Same with these, you make all these chained. This is simply, you have this impulse, you control pick block, you have this chain always active, exit out of it, turn it to an impulse. Same as this one, chain always active, turn it to an impulse, make sure it stays always active. If you have it not always active and you change it to an impulse as always active, then it would end up loading. Like if you had this and you went to change it to always active, you'd end up loading it, which ruins it. So you want to change it to a chain always active. Don't change it to a repeat. And then you have a impulse and it's safe. So then you'd save this structure as the setup. You don't need the my structure setup. This structure is fill. This is the one that you pick block. This is the order in which you do it. Going through each of these commands. And yeah. I made that one a little bit too fast. Exited, I should say. But yeah, this is a very nice thing. But yeah, I would use this in my build if I was a builder. Sadly, I'm just a person that tries to make cool commands that no one's thought of. And it's led me to posting videos every few months. Well, I guess this is the end of the video. Goodbye. And Minecraft updates remove my custom skin. So, yeah, I'm as this guy. Ah, well, I'll be back in my next video.